Welcome back, everyone. If you're just hearing the news now, you're going to want to stick around because we have a major update that affects millions of South Africans, especially those who rely on the SRD grant for monthly survival. The South African government has just announced that the Social Relief of Distress (SRD) grant, commonly known as the R350 grant, is being increased to 400. Yes, that's right, R400. This is the first increase we've seen since the grant was launched, and it comes at a time when the cost of living is soaring and unemployment remains a major challenge for many across the country. But that's not all. Alongside this increase, new rules have been rolled out, and payment dates are being reshuffled to ensure smoother processing and fewer delays. So in this video, we're diving deep into everything you need to know: who qualifies, how to get your payments on time, and what this increase really means for the people who depend on this support every single month. Let's begin with what sparked this change. Over the past few years, millions of South Africans have depended on the R350 grant introduced during the COVID-19 pandemic. While it was originally intended to be a temporary measure to assist those who were hit hardest by job losses and economic hardship, it quickly became clear that the demand was far greater and longer lasting than anyone expected. For many households, the R350 was the only source of reliable monthly income. Activists, economists, and civil society organizations have long pushed the government to increase the amount, citing inflation, rising food prices, and overall economic decline. After months of consultation, internal debates, and pressure from advocacy groups, the government has finally taken the step to raise the grant to 400. Now, this might not seem like a massive increase at first glance, only a 50 more, but in the context of limited resources, every rand counts. That additional R50 could be the difference between skipping a meal or having bread and milk for a few more days. The extra amount may also help in covering rising transport costs or buying data for job hunting and communication. It's a move in the right direction and signals the government's recognition that more must be done to support the unemployed and vulnerable citizens. So who exactly qualifies for the new R400 SRD grant? Well, the eligibility criteria remain largely the same, but there are a few updates worth noting. To qualify, you must still be a South African citizen, permanent resident, or refugee registered on the Home Affairs system. You must also be residing within South Africa, between the ages of 18 and 59, and not receiving any other form of social grant or financial assistance, including UIF or NSFAS. You must be unemployed and not receiving income from any employment or self-employment. One of the new adjustments is the threshold used to determine income. Previously, if any funds were detected in your bank account above R624 per month, your application might have been rejected. This threshold has now been adjusted in line with the new grant amount, increasing slightly to reflect inflation and the increase in the grant itself. While the exact income threshold adjustment hasn't been officially confirmed yet, sources say it's likely to be set around R700 per month. Another significant update is related to the payment verification process. The SRD grant system has often been bogged down by delays and inconsistencies due to cross-verification with various databases. The government is now streamlining the system by implementing a faster, more automated process using advanced technology and machine learning. This means applicants won't have to wait weeks or even months for payments to be approved or processed. Instead, once verified, recipients can expect a consistent payment schedule barring any discrepancies in banking details or eligibility status. Speaking of payment schedules, there's good news here too. The South African Social Security Agency, SASSA, has confirmed that starting next month, SRD payments will follow a fixed schedule based on ID numbers. This will help reduce system overloads and ensure that payments are not randomly delayed. The new payment schedule is as follows. If your ID number ends in 0 or 1, your payment will be processed on the 1st of the month. If it ends in 2 or 3, your payment will come through on the 2nd. This pattern continues until the 5th of the month, ensuring that by the 5th working day, all payments for the month are processed. This structured system aims to eliminate the unpredictability that so many beneficiaries have had to deal with for far too long. Let's now talk about how you can make sure you get your R400 on time. First and foremost, ensure that your banking details on the SASSA website are up to date. Many delays occur because the information provided doesn't match the bank records or there are typos in account numbers or names. Make sure your account is in your own name and is active. If you're using a mobile money option like e-wallet or cash send, double-check that your cell phone number is registered in your name and is active as well. Remember, if your banking details are not updated correctly, you may experience delays of weeks or even months. Another crucial aspect is reapplication and status checks. Although the SRD grant system was initially set up to be reapplied for every 3 months, it now uses an automatic monthly verification system. However, if your application is rejected for any reason, you still have the right to appeal through the SRD website or the Moya app. The appeal process has also been improved, with decisions now being made within a few days instead of the previous 6 to 8 weeks. There's also new support available for those who struggle with the online process. SASSA has opened walk-in support centers in major cities and towns, where applicants can get assistance with registering, updating information, or resolving any problems. These centers have staff trained to guide beneficiaries through the digital application system, especially helpful for elderly people or those with limited access to the internet. Now let's break down what this R400 can realistically help you with in today's economic climate. According to recent data, the average cost of a basic food basket in South Africa has increased significantly over the past 2 years. A single loaf of bread can cost upwards of 15, a liter of milk around 20, and transport costs for job seekers can reach R50 per week. While R400 won't cover all these needs, it's a small cushion, a starting point that can help bridge some of the most urgent gaps. The increase also represents a broader policy shift. For years, experts have been calling for a more permanent basic income grant, BIG, to replace the temporary SRD. The increase to R400 might be a testing ground for future social assistance reforms. President Cyril Ramaphosa has hinted at this in several recent speeches, emphasizing that the country must find sustainable ways to support its people in the long term. The SRD grant may eventually evolve into a more permanent solution, and this small increase might be the first step in that direction. Another important factor is how the increase is being funded. According to the Treasury, the additional R50 per beneficiary per month will be absorbed within the current budget by reallocating funds from underspent programs. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana stated that no new taxes would be imposed to fund the increase, and the focus will remain on efficient, transparent allocation of funds. That said, analysts are keeping a close watch on how these changes will affect fiscal planning going forward, especially with the country facing economic headwinds. Let's not forget the human impact of this change. Thousands of social media users and community leaders have already reacted positively to the announcement. Many took to platforms like Twitter and Facebook to express their relief and gratitude. One user said, "It's not a lot, but it means I can buy electricity and bread for my kids without begging." Another wrote, "Every month is a struggle, so even a 50 more is a blessing." These stories underscore how critical this support is for those on the margins of society. For those wondering whether the increase is permanent, the answer is yes, for now. The government has not indicated that the R400 amount is temporary, and it will remain in place for the foreseeable future unless new policies are adopted. However, it's always a good idea to stay informed and keep checking for updates through official SASSA channels or by subscribing to reliable news sources. If you've already been receiving the R350 grant, there's no need to reapply. Your payment will automatically increase to R400 starting with the next cycle. You may not see the change reflected immediately on your SASSA profile, but rest assured that the adjustment is being rolled out across the board. First payments reflecting the new amount are expected to begin hitting bank accounts within the next few weeks, starting with the May payment cycle. Let's quickly recap what you need to do to make sure everything goes smoothly. Check your banking details on the SASSA website. Make sure your contact number is active and in your name. Monitor your application status online or through the Moya app. Appeal any rejections promptly. Visit a SASSA support center if you're struggling with digital access. And most importantly, be patient, but persistent. If your payment is delayed or incorrect, follow up using the SASSA helpline or social media pages. The agency has committed to addressing issues more swiftly than in the past. So what can we expect next? There are already whispers of further changes coming to the SRD grant system. Some proposals on the table include increasing the age eligibility range, offering additional top-ups for families with children, or linking the grant with public work programs to create employment opportunities. These ideas are still in the early stages, but the increase to R400 is a strong signal that the government is listening to the people and slowly shifting toward a more comprehensive safety net. This increase also comes just months before the national elections. Many see this move as a strategic decision to gain favor with the voting public, but whatever the motivation, the outcome is clear: millions of people will have a bit more support to get through the month. It may not solve poverty, but it's a step toward economic justice, and it's long overdue. In closing, this R400 increase is more than just a change in numbers, it's a lifeline. For millions of South Africans, it means dignity, survival, and a little bit of breathing room. It's a reminder that social support can and should be improved to meet the needs of the people. The new rules, better payment systems, and stronger communication from SASSA are all positive signs that the system is evolving for the better. So if you or someone you know depends on the SRD grant, share this information, stay informed, and make sure to follow all the steps we discussed to secure your payment. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. If this video helped you or brought you some hope, please give it a thumbs up so we can spread the word. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How will the extra R50 help you or your loved ones? And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an important update. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and take care.